It's my favorite toy. Oh yeah, it's my pride and my joy. Oh, you know it's my favorite toy. It goes down the stairs, gets caught in my hair, I don't care. You know I got a metal one and a plastic one too. I got one that's neon and one that's blue. It's my favorite toy. Ah yeah, it's my pride and my joy. Oh, you know that it's my favorite toy. It goes down the stairs, gets caught in my hair, I don't care. Oh, I love my Slinky.
Tell Peter he's on in 15 seconds.
Simple, yet satisfying.
What are you doing? Just staring.
Come on, guys. No more spit wax on the set.
Baby! Ready on cue.
All right, here we go.
Quiet on the set. Hear the music. Quiet in the dark.
It's showtime.
Get ready to jam, man. Let's get ready to jam.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Jam. This time, we explore the mysteries of the universe contained in coils of steel and plastic known as the Slinky. All jokes aside, though, you can learn a lot about engineering and physics just by studying the Slinky. Today, we're going to take you to the center of the Slinky universe and show you how engineering plays a big part in almost how everything in the world works.
Oh, yes, he's Larry, the omnipotent head in a jar. Ba-da-da.
It is I again, Larry, the omnipotent head in a jar. Most people don't realize this, but the original prototype for the Slinky was me, my head. The only problem was, though I was bouncy, every time I would fall downstairs, it would give me a severe concussion. And now, as in retrospect, every time someone turns on a microwave, I wet my pants.
Physics, science, and technology, the exciting field of engineering. Yes, engineering. With a career in engineering, you can accomplish many things. From microchips to potato chips, engineers turn ideas into reality. But you don't have to be a straight A student, and it's not just for guys anymore. All you need is math, science, and ambition. Just ask your science or math teacher. Engineers make a world of difference.
Let's do it.
I'm in Hollidaysburg, PA, the one and only place that they make Slinkies. Now, you won't believe all the cool Slinky stuff they have here. Check this out. Mrs. James, tell me how Slinky got its start.
Well, my husband was an engineer, and he was out on a trial run of a ship. And a torsion spring fell off the table and it quivered back and forth. And he came home and said that he was going to make a toy out of it. I thought he was a little wacky, but that's okay. You might be interested in some of the strange things Slinkies are used for.
Wow, okay.
They're used for pecan pickers, decorating rooms, particularly the plastic, because they're so colorful. And they're used in hospitals, which is great, you know, for therapy.
Okay.
And somebody uses them for curtains somehow. I don't know how they do that.
Really? So tell me one thing about Slinky that everyone in America wants to know.
Well, I hope. Why does it last so long? And I think it's because it's simple. And there are no parts to wind up or no batteries or anything. I think that's it.
Tell me how the wire goes from this spool here to the Slinky that you have in your hand.
We get it in spools of approximately 1,000 pounds of wire on each spool. It's round wire. It's taken back over here, right back there, where we roll it flat, we cool it off and clean it, and then it goes to an edge winder which coils it and it comes off. It's automatically cut to the correct length, and then it's made into Slinky.
Wow.
So that's what it looks like when it's done.
And it just springs like this automatically?
Yeah. That's part of the creation of the spring steel wire and the way it's made. I think it's real important to know that my dad was a mechanical engineer first. He was also a dreamer.
Okay.
And he took the knowledge he had, but he took common sense. He looked at the Slinky. Lots of people had seen springs take a little step. He was able to say, I think that could be a toy, but he had the background in engineering to go ahead and pull off some minor miracles, for instance, in the rolling of the flat wire.
And here he is with a brain teaser and the hair to prove it.
It's time to ask Dr. Gravity.
Welcome back to our laboratory. As you remember, last time we were here, Hilda and I, and Hilda and I, and Hilda. We were just getting back from the International Slinky Convention in the Budapest. Well, we were able to get some of the little plans that they had there for some of the upcoming little, pardon my hair there, some of the future plans they had for some of the inventions that are going to revolutionize the future. Could you believe that or not? They get me so excited, my hair stands on end. That's why I wear pearls today, so it's all the sassy look. We look here, and the first invention is called the Slinky Earthquake-Proof Building. That's right, when the big one comes, the rest of the ground, they're going, oh, you shake me, the coast is tossed. We look at this, and you just go boinky, boinky, boinky. That's all that happens. It's crazy like that. Well, let's look at the next one. Would you like it? This is a good one called the Slinkmobile. It's called the Slinky car, and it gets me so excited, I can't believe it, because it gets to keep you at home, while at the same time, you get to drive to your location. Isn't that crazy? I can't believe they do that. Okay, we look at number 3 here. And 3 is the Slinky Space Station. That's called the SSS, or the S with a 3 on it, or a 3 in the corner, or S cubed, or just kind of like a snake, even though it looks like one, I guess it does. And that's one of those things where it has its own gravity there inside the space station, so you can walk on the inside of the outside. Or is it the outside of the inside? Maybe it's the inside of the outside of the inside.
Gravity. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
Oh, fear not, for I bring the truth. There are secrets about the Slinky that they don't want you to know. They want to keep you in the dark. They want to keep us all in the dark. But it's not going to work. And why? Because I know the secrets. Take an actual Slinky. You think it's just a toy. Well, that's exactly what they want you to think. Oh, but there's more. There's so much more to the Slinky. And I can tell you why. Because I know the secrets. This Slinky has inertia. Inertia! That means it's going to stay motionless and still right there, right here and there, where I put it. It's going to stay absolutely still unless one of those pesky, creepy little external forces decides to do something to it. It's going to stay right there. And as it's there all quiet and innocent, sleeping in its little crib and bed and sitting there just fine, it's showing that it has potential energy. But they don't want you to know that. Why don't they want you to know that? Because if you know that it has potential energy, you know that it can also be transformed into kinetic energy. Because if I do this, then that means that this little Slinky has lost its inertia, and the potential energy that once just crept little silently and sleepy in there is now kinetic energy. And that, my friends, is what we like to call energy in motion. You know these facts and you can rule the world. Call me right now at 1-800-555.
Enough of that. Don't worry about him. He's a little confused. All you need to know is that inertia, potential energy, and kinetic energy can all be found in the Slinky, along with a lot of other things. No conspiracy, just science and physics.
I had lost all hope of having a regular son. He was normal in every way except for one thing. He was Slinky challenged. What's a mother to do?
Luckily, I heard about the Academy for Advanced Slinky Studies.
I gave them my Slinky moron, and they gave me a Slinky champion.
Don't be a moron. If you know someone who's Slinky impaired, we can help. The Academy for Advanced Slinky Studies.
Don't you know that we're trying to do a show here?
Did you know in 1995 Slinky turned 50 years old? And they make more than 50 different kinds of Slinky toys, like this gold-plated one, and like this original Slinky, and like this dog right here, and this neon one here, and this little miniature dog right here, and this Slinky dog here.
Okay, Angie, in here is the K-resin mixed with color concentrate. In this case, it's red. This material, it's put into, this is the suction unit that pulls out the K-resin and the concentrate up into a hopper over here. From this hopper, it goes into an extruding screw, which is inside of a heated casing, in effect. It melts the plastic in there, and it pushes it this direction. Over here, you can see what's called an extrudite coming out, which is very, very hot and plastic at that point. That's one of the uses of the words plastic. It's then brought from there, we wind it, we cool it off, and it comes out as a plastic Slinky.
Okay, so that's how plastic Slinkies are made here at the factory. But let's back it up a bit, because the process really started millions of years ago. And that's because that plastic is a petroleum product. And petroleum comes from crude oil. That's been in the ground for hundreds of millions of years. Here's how they turn oil into plastic.
Initially, in locating or trying to locate a place to drill for oil and gas, our geologists will go through a number of scenarios just trying to figure out what's the best place. And when that decision is made, then as petroleum engineers, we have to figure out how to drill this well. We'll drill it, but we'll get it piped into a pipeline that will carry it to a plant location.
And we process it in a series of steps. Most of it is geared towards making motor fuels of some sort, gasoline, aviation gasoline, diesel fuel. We also have some chemical products that come out of the crude oil.
So what you do is you take a large reactor, which is just like when you're cooking a big bowl. We put the two materials in there, you add heat, you add a catalyst to start the reaction, and you let it cook for a while. And after a while, these thin materials become plastics and they become hard. And what we do is we ship them out in the form of pellets. These are the pellets, K-resin pellets. You notice they're nice and clear and sparkle. These are what the customers receive. So we don't actually make the products. All we do is make the plastic pellets. And for instance, the Slinky producers, they melt the pellets, they extrude them into Slinkies. Other people take the pellets, they melt the pellets, and they make sheets, they make the cups, whatever forms they have to. It comes in pellets and you melt it, and then you do your forming.
Well, there you have it. That's how they get from crude oil all the way to this neon plastic Slinky. Now, engineers have been a big, crucial part of the process every step of the way.
I'm back, and I have some more of their dirty little secrets for you. Do you want to know what they are? You do. Sure you do. You know, the first one is called gravity. Perhaps you've heard of it before. See, a few years back, there was a man named Sir Isaac Newton. Call him Sir, because that's the way he likes it. And he figured this whole thing out, and he spills the beans. See, gravity is what keeps us on the ground. It gives us weight. It's the pull of the earth. And you thought that was hot dogs. And gravity has a friend. They're like this, only gravity's over here. That friend is called centrifugal force. Centrifugal force is what allows me to sling an object around and watch it spin, kind of like a clothes dryer. Kind of like when I spit that wonderful loogie of phlegm that seems to take ever so long. It's what the kind of force that when I'm swinging around this Slinky, it allows to happen. Hear the whistle, that's centrifugal force. And the more centrifugal force I use, and the faster I spin, the less gravity has an effect on it. And that is a secret that they don't want you to know. Power. Power to the engineers. Power.
All right, that's it. I wasn't gonna do this, but you left me no choice. Roll it, Hal.
Toys in Space.
Well, we had a whole box of toys, and it was a lot of fun. STS-54 flew in January of '93. We did a variety of experiments with toys. I had one that had magnetic marbles, that I released about that far apart, and they actually came together, so it demonstrated that there is magnetism in space. I had a basketball and a basketball hoop, a little Nerf basketball, and we're trying to demonstrate the lack of gravity's effect on the trajectory of a basketball. Well, you know, if you had a Slinky in space, you just let it go and it would probably just kind of wobble a little bit, oscillate, and maybe tumble a little bit, depending on what kind of force you imparted as you let go. The thing that would be much easier to demonstrate in space would be the wave motion. Very difficult to show that here on the ground. See, it wants to sag and drop, but on orbit, you could fix both ends and you could impart standing waves back and forth, one end to the other, oscillations at various frequencies.
Wander down memory lane back to the classic sounds of the 70s with Disco Slinky. Bump to it, baby. That's right, all your favorite hits about that fun fad toy are here for you to enjoy again and again and again. Ditch the pet rock, forget that mood ring, grab that springy coil and boogie down. It's all on Disco Slinky, baby. Ah, the days of polyester, platform shoes and hair to your navel. Remember it with Disco Slinky. So do the hustle and send $14.95 for 45 songs on 2 CDs to Disco Slinky, Box 9999, Jamestown, Pennsylvania.
Hang it up.
Power to the engineers.
No, you don't have to be a geek to be an engineer.
When I was maybe 10 or 12, the books I would read were always mystery books. And that's because I like to try and figure out the ending ahead of time. They're problem solving.
Well, to me, engineering is sort of like a game. You're trying to figure out ways to do things more efficiently, produce better products.
And that's one of the things that's so fascinating to me, is I can just look around my everyday surroundings and just see things that I can be a part of.
Don't be afraid of the technology. And if you like working with people, engineering could be for you.
When theory meets reality, that's where engineering comes in, and that's where you meet problems, you deal with problems, and you solve them. That's engineering.
You don't have to be straight A student, but you certainly have to have some initiative and some drive.
Well, when I was in high school, I really enjoyed my chemistry classes and my math classes.
Because then you have a lot of engineering classes that all branches of engineering have to take. And so that way you get to meet and socialize with a lot of different types of engineers.
Math and science gives you the theory, but engineering is the application.
Having the opportunity to stay with math and science as a base for just about any career that you choose is a good choice.
And if you find that you're doing well in your science and math classes and that you're really enjoying it, engineering is an excellent field for you to go into.
There's lots of different opportunities for engineers. Not only the technical design work, but there's futures in marketing, business.
I think engineering is a great career for a woman.
Because every day more and more women are getting into the more technical fields, and it's a good thing.
Whether you have the mechanical inclination or just the intellectual inclination to understand how things work and why they work, it doesn't depend on whether you're a man or a woman.
As long as you have a determined work ethic and you have some goals that you want to acquire and you have the perseverance to get through a lot of the academic pressures you might experience, anybody can be an engineer.
Peace, love, and always remember what the doc says.
Longitudinal waves.